Yeah, so we've been talking about mental health, and one thing that's like that I'm a big advocate, and Natalie is too, is we want people to be able to go into the grocery store and feel safe about the food they're choosing, especially in the meat, the beef and dairy aisles, because that can weigh really heavy on people's mental health as well, of feeling not sure about what food to choose when they're grocery shopping for their family. And so, one of the things I love to talk about is that all milk on the shelf is safe and held to the same standards, whether that's conventional or organic or grass fed. Those are actually differences between conventional organic is actually farming practices. It is not a safety standard. It's how we farm on the dairy. But you can really truly feel good about all the milk on the shelf as being safe and antibiotic free. So we're a conventional dairy, so we do give our cows antibiotics when they're sick, and it is prescribed by a vet. If a cow is getting antibiotics, she actually goes in what's called our hospital pen, quote unquote, and she is removed from the milking herd. So her milk is milked separately and then it is discarded. It never makes it into the food supply chain. And then even after she has stopped taking antibiotics, there's what we call a withdrawal period. So there's a period where she is not receiving antibiotics, but her milk still does not make it into the food supply system until that antibiotics has completely cleared her system. Then she's able to come back into the milking herd. Every single tanker of milk that leaves our farm is tested at the parts per billion for antibiotics, along with a number of other things. If anything were to get flagged, we would have to discard the milk and pay for it ourselves as the farmer. The milk is also tested again at the plant and is randomized sampling within the grocery store as well. So there's absolutely no milk on the shelf with antibiotics. The added hormone conversation also gets a little crazy. You'll see a lot of stickers on milks that say like RBST free or from cows not treated with RBST. As of now, in 2023, there is not a single milk on the shelf from cows treated with RBST. It was a approved, an FDA approved hormone that was given to cows more in the 80s and 90s. Very quickly, dairy farmers realized that consumers did not like it. It was just a PR thing, that it was not well received, and most dairy farmers transitioned it out. Now it is officially not on the shelf at all. So again, something that people don't even need to be concerned about. But I know from what I see online, I still get so many questions about those two things, even though I'm like, I wish you didn't have to, like, you don't have to worry about this. I wish it wasn't weighing on your mind. And it kind of goes similar to the beef side. And I'll let Natalie kind of jump in on the beef side of things.
We actually just talked about this 2 episodes ago. We were talking about interviewing someone about the packer processor level and antibiotics there and kind of how they test, and they walked us through the whole process. And like Tara said, the same thing will happen on the beef industry. So the packer processor is obviously the end portion of it. It's where the animal's going to, get harvested. And so they are doing randomized tests there as well. If anything is shown to have antibiotic, it is pulled, and everything is allotted there. They have a numeric system. So if one part of the animal showed, they are able to trace it back to the entire animal. They're able to trace it back to the entire ranch. That ranch actually, the rancher gets flagged, they get put on a list. And so there's this whole process that goes through to make sure that no antibiotic ever enters our food system. In my opinion, and I think Tara would echo the same statement, but it's absolutely just a marketing ploy that has unfortunately turned to confuse consumers. It's not something you need to be worried about.
One thing Natalie and I learned in that packer conversation too was if a farmer or a rancher is like a repeat offender, so if they have a cattle that flags for antibiotics, if that happens twice, the packer will no longer pick up any cattle from that rancher, which I thought was really, I didn't actually know that, but I just thought that was really a testament to how like aggressive the steps are to make sure that no antibiotics ends up in our food supply system.
I understand why we wouldn't want antibiotics in our food system, but I wish there wasn't fear around the idea of a rancher saying, or a dairy farmer, whatever, someone who raises pigs saying, our operation uses antibiotics, because it's actually goes into that animal husbandry portion, right? Like if you had a kid that was sick, or you were sick, or a loved one was sick, we don't deny them antibiotics to treat something we know we can. We absolutely treat our animals with antibiotics. If we can treat them, help them get through, it could be possibly life or death. And if it's not, it could be possible, time of suffering or not. And so we absolutely use them as a means to treat. But just because we do that doesn't mean they're going to end up in the food system.
Hey, Seekers. If you enjoyed watching that short clip, I strongly recommend clicking here for the full-length episode. Here's to discovering more valuable life stories with practical mental health insights. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.